Hello everyone, welcome to the Nondual Club. Today we are going to talk about whether we might be living in some sort of a simulation, and if so, what are the implications? Let me start with a story. I was around 16 years old in 11th grade. A man came to do a demonstration class because my school was interviewing new teachers. As he was talking about his qualifications, he mentioned he had studied abroad and had worked on AI. I don't know what was going on in my head. I was probably trying to sound smart or be cocky and rebellious, but I asked a question. I said, everything in nature seems to have opposites. We have negative and positive, electrons and protons, high pressure and low pressure, and so on. So if we create artificial intelligence, won't we also be creating artificial stupidity? He never really answered that question, and I didn't think much of it at the time. But recently, as I have gotten older and embarked on the spiritual journey, I have thought of that very same question. As we have started talking to our phones and using AI to navigate our roads, it has already intuitively interwoven itself in our lives, and we are not even aware of the impending singularity. Great minds of philosophers, scientists, and others have pondered on this question for a very long time. Entrepreneur Elon Musk, astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson, Professor Dr. James Gates Jr. are some of the supporters of this theory that we might be living in some sort of a simulation. Considering that our reality seems to have arbitrary constants, like the speed of light, Planck's constant, E, and others, and the universe's building blocks themselves seem to be both real as matter and not real as waves at the same time. The universe seems to be dual in nature. A photon will behave as a wave or a particle depending on whether it is being observed or not. Look up the double slit experiments. We have not been able to prove if the universe itself is made up of things or thoughts. In other words, we have not been able to prove if matter gives rise to consciousness or if consciousness gives rise to matter. With all these premises and uncertainties presented before me, I do not think it is too far-fetched to contemplate that we might be living in some sort of a computer simulation or even a divine dream. I can easily accept that, but I still have a hard time believing that we are artificial intelligence. I don't think we humans are very intelligent. For one, we don't even know who we are or why we are. We assume happiness in random things. Some pan out, others don't. And we get upset when the assumed happiness doesn't come forth. We see other people do certain things, and we think, oh, there's happiness in doing those things. So we mimic them to see if there's happiness in that for us too. Look up mirror neurons. And when it fails, we get upset. If there was lasting happiness in the world, then assuming there is happiness in ice cream, you could just keep eating ice cream forever. There is some lasting happiness in the world because we are never happy with what we have. We always want new, and we always want more. We are always searching for something. I believe this is because we don't know who we are. We have to constantly defend ourselves and our actions because most of the time, we don't like ourselves either. As such, we go jumping from one thing to another to try to get happiness. But alas, we don't know what happiness even is in the first place. So, if the world is a computer simulation, then we're probably the quarantine models going around in a loop until we're smart enough to realize the loop and break the cycle. We aren't really artificial intelligence in my mind, but probably its byproduct, artificial stupidity. Until we figure out who we are and why we are, let us check our ego that we are the smartest we've ever been. I do not know why we doubt that our ancestors were smart. We seem to quote the U.S. founding fathers every time we get a chance. As our population has exploded, so have individuals on both sides of the intelligence spectrum. As such, we have really smart minds like Stephen Hawking, who showed us how black holes evaporate and thus do not break the balance of the universe. We have other minds who cannot seem to get over the fact that who they consider themselves, or the illusion of I or me, isn't ever a one thing. Who you are constantly changes. You might have become a different person after watching this video, just like you might have become a different person since you were 5 years old. As such, we try to apply one logic, our own perspective, over and over and over again and fail. It is only through self-realization and being mindful of ourselves and our surroundings that we can begin to notice the clues that the universe has placed all around us. That's all for this video. If you liked the video, please do not forget to like and subscribe. If you have any questions you want me to address, or if there's any feedback for me, please do not forget to comment. Until next time, namaste, namaste, namaste.